The Sledding Hill, 2005, a young adult novel by Chris Crutcher, follows Eddie Proffit as he grapples with the unexpected deaths of both his father and his best friend within a short span of time. The story is narrated by Eddie's deceased best friend, Billy Bartholomew, who, despite being dead, feels a responsibility to help Eddie cope with the aftermath of the tragedies. While the novel features a unique story within a story structure, it also follows a traditional coming-of-age arc. Eddie faces a major emotional obstacle, works through it, and in doing so solidifies his place in his community. One of the novel's most notable features is Crutcher's decision to insert himself as a character at a pivotal moment in the plot. In this cameo, Crutcher defends the right of young people to read controversial fiction. The novel takes place in Bear Creek, Idaho, during the summer before Eddie's first year of high school, when he is struck by two devastating events. First, his father dies in a freak work accident involving an exploding truck tire. And then, less than a month later, Eddie finds his best friend Billy dead beneath a slab of stone. Eddie is intelligent but often distracted and impulsive, traits that suggest he may have ADHD. However, those around him view him as either lazy or a troublemaker. With the deaths of the two people who truly understood him, Eddie becomes selectively mute. Soon after Billy's death, Eddie starts experiencing visitations from Billy's spirit. At first, Eddie is unsure whether these visitations are real, but over time, he comes to accept that they are genuine. Despite this, he continues to refuse speaking to anyone else. Meanwhile, Eddie's mother, struggling with the loss of her husband, becomes increasingly involved in the local Red Brick Church, a fundamentalist congregation led by Reverend Tartar, who also teaches English at Eddie's school. Tartar views Eddie's behavior as evidence that Eddie needs to find salvation through Jesus. Initially skeptical, Eddie reluctantly agrees to take baptism classes. As his freshman year begins, he still refuses to speak to anyone, except for the janitor, who happens to be Billy's father. The two form a secret bond in the janitor's closet, sharing their experiences of grief and loss. Eddie also enrolls in an elective class called Really Modern English, taught by the librarian, Ms. Lloyd. She assigns a book by the little-known author Chris Crutcher titled War and Peace. Eddie connects with the novel's misfit characters, which make him feel less isolated. However, Reverend Tartar strongly opposes the book because of its themes of homosexuality and abortion, and he campaigns to have it banned. When the book is ultimately banned, Eddie convinces Billy's father to read it aloud to students in the boiler room. The controversy escalates, and the school board schedules a hearing to decide whether War and Peace should be banned. Chris Crutcher himself defends the book at the hearing. Several students, deeply affected by the novel, make personal confessions. One comes out as gay, another admits to self-harming. In that moment, Eddie realizes that to truly defend the book that has meant so much to him, he must find his voice, both literally and figuratively. Eddie passionately argues for the right of adolescents to read what some deem inappropriate literature, and his efforts lead to his personal growth. His social life improves, and even the possibility of romance emerges. As Eddie begins to flourish, Billy, seeing that Eddie no longer needs him, says his final goodbye and departs from the living world. Through The Sledding Hill, Crutcher addresses key themes like death, grief, the supernatural, the influence of literature on personal development, fundamentalist religion, and censorship. By including himself in the narrative, Crutcher responds directly to critics who claim his novels are inappropriate for young readers, offering a defense of his work and highlighting the importance of literary freedom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.